So, hey Peter, you wanted to know how you find settings in CSB. Generally there is, when it comes to ERP, there are settings, they are called parameters. And parameters you access via F1, here function Q1 when you are in the main menu, or Shift F1. And then you can go in and check what the settings are. And they are, for example, settings for order entry and stuff like that. But to find out what different parameter settings affect the system or a specific business process, there is in the system a parameter protocol. So when you actually are in the main menu and you hit function system log, you can actually then set your attributes. And one of the attributes here in log is actually the parameter protocol. So you can turn that on. And when you turn that on, you just you just do what you want to do. Let's say you want to know what affects order entry, for example. So you just go and do then a quick order entry like I do now. And boom, 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 boom. So I will go through the entire process so that I can be sure that all my all my settings have red that are actually part of my regular order entry process. And here we go. Do like some enter line item here. Five cases. And close that here by printing a pig ticket, right? So the last thing that I want to do here in this instance is print a pig ticket. So I've done pretty much what constitutes in my system the entire order process. So I got all the information that is needed for my parameter protocol that I can now look up once that print is completed. And then I see all the different pages that the system has read since I actually started that business process, right? So I just leave and go back to the main menu or wherever I am. And then I hit Alt-R, hold the Alt button and hit R. And that actually opens up that regular information screen that you have in CSB, telling you, but now you see that bottom here on at the bottom that says log. And that log file now gives you like a range, and you see like pages and pages of different information as you can scroll through. And you see here on the right side which parameter settings actually have been read. So any of these you need to write down and say like you wrote down 400 page 1, 400 page 2, 400 page 3. These are system settings. 141 page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have all been read, and that is actually when you are then after you pencil it down, you can go through each of these and check them out, and you would actually see what settings are there, and each of these settings is then listed on these pages, and each of them has then pages after pages, and each of them should have a help file that then describes what the functionality is that is behind and what you said. But be careful, do not change anything. Just do it in test. Some of these settings, especially here the system data, for example, are particularly dangerous and can potentially disable your entire system. So you got to be careful. But this is a way that you find out the settings within the CSB ERP application. So on top of that, for the MERP guns in CSB, there are other settings that are part of the EDI module. So, and let me see if I find that here quickly for you guys. Yeah, here I got it. It is actually in program 4231 within CSB. There is the application service manager, and that is actually the program where you have probably entries for your scanners, and there are settings for your MERP application. So as you have each individual application hosted and you have these different modules, you have here, for example, for shipping and for the order pool entry, you have what it's called predominances. And you can actually go in and actually check these predominances. And actually that was wrong. Actually, so here you just go into the predominances, and you have the system show you those predominances for the order pool data editing, and there's an import catalog, and there's a query catalog and a reply catalog, and each of these entries here are basically parameters that you can set that change the behavior of the individual MERP application. So in this instance, we are actually here as part of the order editing, and there are different things that you can say. For example, the restriction here of document print, for example, says what kind of documents you can print, and you can set like certain standards and certain parameters. That is something that I'm not very familiar with, but that is the other place where you have settings in CSV that impact the applications. And just for your reference, there is a separate space that you need to look at for settings that affect the guns. Hey, one final word to those settings when you actually check them out. Make sure that you actually use the user that is actually doing order entry when you do that parameter protocol. And the reason for that is that each of these settings can have different hierarchies. These parameters can be station dependent, they can be user dependent, user group dependent, and eventually status dependent. So each of these pages, and they can also come in different hierarchies, right? So these are like user dependent parameters. Some others are company dependent parameters, such as 400, or the area parameters of sales. They are like company dependent, so it actually shows that here. So each of these settings can see, and the parameter protocol records the settings that the current user has when he does that business transaction. So when you do that with your user, you may not have the same settings that a user would have that actually does order entry. That just FYI. So hope that helps, and enjoy.